Hey everyone, welcome to our last workshop. This one's titled Finishing Strong, and this workshop is going to be about finishing your semester on a high note and not getting too stressed out by all the different things that come your way towards the end of the semester. And so after this presentation, you will be able to identify common stressors associated with the end of the semester or academic year, utilize techniques to keep yourself as motivated as you can while you're finishing out the end of the term. You'll be able to find ways to keep your academic life from stagnating and burning out, and you'll discover resources around campus that can be especially beneficial to students at the end of the term. So now we're going to talk about some common end of the year stressors, and so those could be finals, big projects and papers that are due, lots of events, both social and academic, to attend. Planning for the summer, planning for next semester, planning for life after college, your lack of sleep, being burnt out, stress over wasted time, lack of motivation, and all of those things can really be difficult to manage while you are at the end of the semester, right? And it can get really stressful. And so these are some techniques that you will have to help motivate you to keep your learning fresh. So the first technique is to get motivated in class. And so, that's not just taking notes, right? You want to ask questions, answer questions, talk with your professor, pull from outside of the class. And this will help you make contact with other students in your class. And so this will help you form study groups. You can share notes and socialize. It'll also help your professor get to know you, and obviously this can be really beneficial, especially at the end of the semester. You want your professor to remember who you are. If say during the summer you need to ask for a letter of recommendation, or you come back next semester and you need to speak with your professor about some sort of internship opportunity or something along those lines, you really want your professor to know who you are. And also this will just help pass the time in your class faster. If you're more engaged, it'll seem like class is going by faster, and it won't seem like it's dragging on or anything like that. And so that can be really beneficial if you're struggling with feeling like the semester is dragging itself out. If you become more engaged in these things, then you'll sort of find that your time goes by faster. So another one of these techniques is you want to prioritize. And so when the semester is coming to an end, you have all these responsibilities that are vying for your time, and you want to separate your social responsibilities from your academic ones, and then make a list of what needs to be done and when. And so you might find out that after you've actually written everything down, it's not as daunting as a challenge as you thought it was when you just were thinking about these 15 different things that you have to accomplish by the end of the semester, and they might spread themselves out more than you realize. Sometimes you'll need to make tough decisions about what deserves most of your time. You want to decide on what's urgent and what is of high importance to you, and you might need to cut off the things for a while that aren't as important to you, so you can get those really urgent and important things done. And you want to consider your long-term goals when you are prioritizing to make it a little bit easier for you. So at the end of your academic year, you're probably going to face a lot of large projects. A lot of courses like to end on one of these big projects, and so one really important thing is to break down those projects into their smallest pieces. And so say your big project is to write 15-page research papers, but the starting small task that you can do is to just find 5 sources at the library. And so that is obviously a lot less terrifying of a prospect than just sort of sitting down in front of your computer in the library and with the intention of having a 15-page research paper be done. If the big goal is to study for an exam, your task could be reviewing the practice problems in chapter 4. And if you need to give a presentation, then maybe just finishing 5 slides and timing the speech can be what your task is for that time. You want to be honest about how much time each task is going to take, and then plan your time accordingly. And as you complete these smaller tasks, it'll help propel you forward and make it easier to see the project coming together, and it might even make it less daunting and easier to just sort of work through it all as you go along. So another thing you want to do is reward yourself and establish rewards. And you want to reward yourself for remaining responsible. And it's really important to help stay motivated. And so you want to make the rewards match the difficulty of the task. So maybe, reading a few paragraphs is not worth, an entire weekend out with your friends. But, once you get finished with classes and you turn in all your papers, the sky is the limit as far as rewards go. But you do want to make sure that you're able to self-regulate the sort of rewarding process, right? And I know some people will just after they've done a homework assignment or studied for an hour, they'll get up and get a snack or something like that, right? Or go out and take a walk or something just to relax themselves. But looking forward to those rewards can help make the task go more quickly and smoothly. So another really important thing you can do is to tell other people about your goals. And so this is a really good way to stay on track, whether the goals are large or small. And so when you tell somebody else about your goals, it keeps you responsible. Because you don't want to disappoint that person. They can help keep you on track, and it can be mutually beneficial, right? So if you have a roommate who needs to study 5 times throughout the course of 2 weeks or something like that, the two of you can keep each other honest about your keeping track of your tasks and your goals. And you just also want to make sure that this person that you tell is responsible and won't let you slip and not complete any of these goals. So another good thing you can do is change your surroundings. And this can really inject new energy into your daily habits and routines. If you are having sort of trouble with where you're studying, and it's becoming kind of monotonous, you can change that. So if you normally study at home, you can go to the cave or the library. If you normally study on your own, maybe form a study group. And also alternating your study spot will help your brain adapt to working in different environments, which is helpful for the exam. Because an exam environment is not a really natural one for you to be in, and so if you can study in different environments, you get used to needing to recall information in different environments, and so that can help you when it comes time for an exam. So something really important to also do is recognize when you're procrastinating. And it can be, even more alluring at the end of the semester when all of your responsibilities are mounting, right? And so you want to look for signs of procrastination. So, if you're doing other smaller tasks to make yourself feel better about not doing the big things that you need to do. So like if you're cleaning or exercising when you really should be studying or writing a paper. If you're, dreading an assignment, no matter how large or small it is, that could be a sign. If you're letting yourself get immediately distracted when you start a task, so say you sit down to write your paper and you immediately get up to make a cup of coffee, or go to text somebody on your phone or something like that, that can be a sign of procrastinating. And just mounting stress related to your work can also be a sign. And when you encounter an instance of this procrastination, you need to decide on a course of action that will help you accomplish your goal. And so just want to say, I will take this action to achieve the goal of blank. And so giving yourself those specific terms will make it easier for you to sort of break the habit of procrastination, and it'll help break things down for you, and so you'll know exactly what you need to do, and you will be less tempted to procrastinate, hopefully. So while you're doing all of this, you also want to keep track of your progress, and so it's important to remind yourself of everything that you've accomplished up until this point. Hopefully most of you have probably already made it through the end of a semester before. For some of you it's not the case, but you've had definitely academic trials up until now. And if you relate all of the progress that you've made so far, it can make the things ahead of you seem less daunting, like, oh, I've done that before, and I survived, right? And so you just want to think about these instances where you felt overwhelmed and you've had a lot of things mounting, but you've come out on the other side. And so this isn't any different. And you are strong enough and capable to do it in the past, and you're able to do it now. And so thinking about all the accomplishments that you've made can help when you're freaking out really bad about the end of the semester being right around the corner. Another important thing to remember is to focus on the present. So part of the overwhelming nature of the end of the semester comes from looking too far ahead. So you're dreading these future projects or obsessing over past failures, and that can keep you from being active in the present. And so you need to focus and do well on this, the exam that you're taking, right? And not worry about grad school, not worry about med school. Ignoring huge future deadlines and focusing on daily tasks can help make the work seem more manageable. Obviously you need to know when these things are due, but if my task is for the next 3 days, I need to write, or say for the next week, right? I need to write 2 pages a night, and then I'll have my 10-page paper done. Writing 2 pages tonight is not an insane task, but it might be scary to think about writing a 10-page paper, but 2 pages a night is not that bad. And so if you just think I need to write 2 pages tonight, that will help to keep the dread from setting in. And as you complete these daily tasks toward the larger deadlines, it'll become less scary. And so it can be really important to sort of forget about your well-being while you are freaking out about finals and the end of the semester. And so obviously it can be really stressful, right? And so that can take its toll on the body. It's really important to get sleep and eat well. Showing up to your exam sleep deprived or malnourished is going to counteract any extra studying that you were able to do the night before, right? So you really just want to make sure that your body is healthy, that you're getting enough sleep, that you are, you feel good, and you are ready and prepared to, do all of these things that happen at the end of the semester. You really want to exercise and get out of your chair every 30 minutes and stretch and walk around. Make sure you don't, sink into the couch or whatever it is. Make sure you're staying active. And it's also really important to take time away from your books to relax and allow that information to, move from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, and give it time to digest and things like that, right? And so you don't want to be constantly freaking out about everything that's going on. It's really important to just take, some time to step back and just relax a little bit. So lastly, we're going to talk about some resources available to you around campus that can be especially beneficial to you at the end of the semester. The first one is The Cave. You can visit a tutor and discuss any and all of your problems in class. You can make an appointment with our writing tutors just to make sure that you've learned all the material. You don't need to have a specific problem from your homework that you don't understand. You can come in and bounce things off the tutor, make sure you understand concepts and things like that. You can get assistant with research and your final papers. You can make an appointment with an academic coach or a PAL coach to discuss study strategies and time management. And there's an academic atmosphere, so it's not as distracting, hopefully, as your dorm or the cafeteria or something. And if you don't know by now, we're located on the first floor of Kirk Hall. We're open from 8 until 10, Monday through Thursday. Friday we are open from 8 to 5, and then some people don't know, but we're open from 5 to 10 on Sunday as well. And so, take advantage of the Cave and all that it can offer you. And it is a really helpful resource at the end of the semester. So another great service that's offered on campus is our counseling services. So if you find at the end of the semester that it seems like too much to handle, it might be a good idea to visit them. They offer support services for students who need to discuss the development of personal or interpersonal issues. They can address more specific concerns like depression, anxiety, stress. Um, all of the information is confidential, so that's really important to some people. And they're located in Deschantal, which is right next to Lewis, and they're in room 122. So the last resource we're going to talk about is career planning, and so they can help if the thought of life after graduating is a little overwhelming, and so they can help students explore majors and careers and assist with hunting for internships. They can review your resume and cover letter and coach you through the interview process, and they can also provide a step-by-step checklist for all the necessary steps to apply to graduate. And so if the idea of graduating from school and entering the real world is a little frightening, then these folks can really help you out. And that's the end of our presentation. If you have any questions or anything, you can always come visit me in the cave, come visit one of our PAL coaches, come visit our academic coach. We're all here to help, and we'd all love to have you. So come sit down, talk with us for a while. Tell us what's on your mind, how the end of the semester is going for you. If it's going great, you can tell us that too. So yeah, we hope to see you. Thanks for joining me in this presentation. All right.